The death toll in a police operation in Rio de Janeiro has risen to 132 people. That's according to the Public Defender's Office. 4 of the dead were police officers. Backed by armoured vehicles, helicopters and drones on Tuesday, thousands of heavily armed police raided the strongholds of a major organised crime gang in some of Rio's poorest neighbourhoods. Residents spent the night recovering the dead. The UN's human rights body says it is horrified by the number of casualties and has called for an investigation. Let's take you over to Rio, where journalist Joao Soares is standing by for us. How did the raid develop into Brazil's deadliest ever?
Rio has a tragic tradition of police raids with high number of deaths. 2 years ago, we had a big operation with almost 30. Last year, 24 people died, and the local state has been using for decades this strategy of confrontation with organized crime groups that are heavily armed, and showed this on their reaction with drone attacks only seen in Ukraine, Colombia rainforest, against police force that try to use 2,500 agents to arrest leaders of this organized crime group. They took almost 100 rifles, half-ton of drugs, but they didn't make it to find and arrest the leaders of the groups, although all the deaths produced by this operation.
Okay, tell us about the government's response to the police operation.
In Brazil, the polices are ruled by the local state governments. So this operation was conducted by Rio's government. The federal government, Lula, the Brazilian president, Lula da Silva, he announced that he was surprised by the operation because he was in an international travel. He had no news about it. And now the local government and the federal government are trying to dialogue, and they just announced some minutes ago a joint office, emergency office, that is going to coordinate the actions towards this situation of the public security in Rio de Janeiro.
And tell us more about this gang. I believe it doesn't just deal in drugs, it also controls basic services in its part of the city.
Exactly. They control those territories for years long, and they offer to the thousands of people, poor people who live there, who have nothing to do to those criminal activities. They offer those basic services in places where the state is not present most of the time, and a big part of their profit comes from this. So we have a big problem in Brazil with those organized crime groups reaching national and international scale, the Amazon being a hotspot for those international commerce of drugs, for this international commerce. So it's very worrying, and the federal government is trying to give responses, but finding trouble with the political divisions of the country.
Mm-hmm. So how has the local community been reacting to this?
The local community is showing protest with the approach of the police. They are used to it, unfortunately, but we saw today a lot of mothers crying because they found the bodies of their sons with stab wounds. So the police has produced many deaths of people who were considered suspects, but in the end of the day, there are many workers living there, many families, so they protested, they closed the streets, they showed consternation with the fact that the state came and killed so many people with the purpose of fighting crime, an argument they've been listening for so long in Rio and in Brazil.
Joao Soares there in Rio de Janeiro. Thank you very much for the update.
Thank you.